The majority of the world is bilingual from birth, but when it comes to learning a second language in a classroom, why do some seem to find it easier than others? I'm Clare Wright, lecturer in linguistics at Newcastle University in the north of England, and I've been a TESOL teacher for over 15 years. This clip gives the background to a paper published in TESOL Quarterly, which I report on a study I've done arising out of this experience, particularly in looking at the development of oral grammatical accuracy and fluency in producing questions in English. Well, for language improvement, does living in the target language community make all the difference? For the thousands of international students travelling the world to gain a degree, often coming to the US or UK from far away, that's often seen as the magic formula. Could it be what educational background you've come from, if you're from a European or an Asian school, for example, or how long you've learnt English, or even what course you're studying? My study comes from my experience where I've seen students from the same country, the same instructed background, on the same study programme, still show a lot of individual differences in the progress they make over time, both in accuracy and fluency in their second language speech. My research looks at individual differences in mental processing to see whether the development of speech might be more to do with the learning process, the way people hear and store information when they're learning it, and then try and bring that information back out when they want to speak. Some researchers have claimed since the 1990s that working memory may be a key to individual improvement, and I wanted to put that claim to the test. To do this, I set up the study I report on in my TESOL Quarterly paper, where I followed a group of 32 Chinese students, measuring how their language changed over time, and if those that improved the most had the highest working memory scores. I asked them to do a number of things, including asking questions, because this is something that they have to do in and out of the classroom, but I knew that a lot of them had problems putting all the bits together, like where to put do and how to change the verb endings round. I also got them to do a task on the computer to time how quickly they could choose if a grammatical sentence was in fact accurate or inaccurate. I knew that if they didn't even know the rule, they weren't going to get it right in speaking. And what I found is that over time, working memory did seem to go with the improvement that some of them showed. So those that improved the most did have the highest working memory scores. So that's exciting evidence for my claim that working memory can aid oral improvement in production. But what I found, somewhat to my surprise, was that after a year, there was actually very little improvement for some of them in their accuracy at all. Their fluency improved, and also the speed in their reaction times. But I wondered why this might be. So what my research is looking at now is trying to find out more about the quality and quantity of the input that they have when they get here. Is immersion in fact as thorough as it's assumed to be? So watch this space. But in the meantime, don't give up hope. To all those teachers and students out there, your grammar classes may be the best place to become accurate in certain grammatical forms, but do come to the host target country. It really will improve your fluency.